There is an itch that drawing scratches, that writing just can't do. And I started off in this life writing stories, but like the whole writing process, like it'd be cool, but it don't feel like what it is with drawing. And that is, it's not a conundrum. It is something that is setting the tone for yet another pivot. But I feel that this is the ultimate lock-in with my service business at Lainaverse works, and how that juxtaposes my speculative fiction brand, Cosmic Africana, and the companion guide that goes with that short story collection to be published in 2027. The Afro-Feminine Escapativities Handbook. And that's coming out soon. But in mentioning, like all these things relate in what I'm covering in this episode. Welcome to the Art of Biz and Chill. This is the artsy Biz and Chill episode where I, your host, Malainayo, best, also artist moniker Lainaverse, share my insights on entrepreneurship, but particularly for this one, it's art entrepreneurship, creative entrepreneurship, and my art business savvy. And I have cross paths service business wise and personal business wise in establishing myself as a infographics illustrator. And here is the way of things. It's like I have had this pressing desire to like make a product of my own. Like making a service is cool. It is the easiest business to start because ultimately having a business is solving a problem and getting paid for it. Having a service is you are solving problems that are in demand for a particular segment. In the instance of me focusing on the infographics illustration, that is for the financial technology, Fintech industry. And I have throughout my life been wanting to prioritize my own stories, my own creations, and circumventing the whole having a day job, even having a part-time element, because my solution is that the service business is my day job. It is self-employment. I get further into the weeds of this on a previous episode about knowing when and how to pivot. But in any case, so, I mean, that ultimately flows into this. And the main kicker for me not being able to prioritize my own personal stories and projects, meaning they take up at least 50% of my time, and that I also have like internal safety and security and stability. That's something that I really want to experience. But ultimately, right, like the stories that I want to illustrate, it's rooted in writing the stories. On my other Substack, All Things Lainaverse, that's where I share my short stories. And I've had like some, I don't want to say mental muck. I don't want to say it's confusion. I've just been working out the clarity as far as like I want to cover my development, the mastering of my craft in one newsletter, And then the other newsletter is me sharing a part of a short story that I'm writing each month. And that's literally what I've been wanting to do, on top of like making illustrations, character designs, visual development art, concept art of the story concepts and scenes and whatnot, and pairing that with the short stories that I'm posting, right? And but I still gotta solve the money bug. So while I am going into the workforce and looking for remote work, I'm still doing the service business with the intent of that being, my day job, my self employment. And my whole thing was like, the service business wouldn't eclipse what I'm doing creatively. But so I am finding, like, again, the stories have to be written for the art to transpire, give or take. And in considering like my audience who I'm building, which is Black women, and particularly looking to help Black women relax and building out, like, it went from just short stories to turning into like this whole entire experience where I have brand affiliate partners, buy these products, I'm making merch, buy this merch, I curate playlists, listen to the playlists, create an entire moment of when you are writing my stories, when you're reading my stories. And that then developed into my concept, the Afro-feminine escapativities, where my main modus operandi is that this is a form of healthy, intentional escapism where Black women align with wellness and creativity and art. This time apart, you're immersing yourself in my world, but ultimately it leads you back to you, which then led to me creating the companion guide, the Afro-feminine escapativities handbook, which I've decided to name it. It was originally called the Revitalize You with Afro-feminine escapativities, but I narrowed it down to this. But all this to say, right, on the service business side of things, I was offering storytelling advising and trying to position that for helping with the development of content marketing campaigns in the financial tech industry. And that wasn't picking up speed. And it kept circling in the back of my head, like, once I get this moving, like, what does this look like 3, 6, 12 months from now? I know what I have in mind for all things Laniverse, Cosmic Africana, Afro-feminine escapativities even. But when it comes to Laniverse Works, it's just like, I'm looking to get these bills paid and to make this make this money stable, consistent. But I still care about like my career and the like where I'm going with the relationships. And it's like, yeah, I could just vibe with it. But like I do have a distinct vision. So I decided, things weren't panning out. So I'm like, you know what? Originally, I'd swore off of doing illustration work for people. But it's like ultimately my thing is, given my passion and how much I value the work and the overall value, like the value as far as like, yeah, you paid me to do this, but how does this affect your business in the long term? Even in the short term, like, what is the return on investment for this? Like, I'm still, that's the art business savvy, is I'm not just giving you full rights of my work. I don't do that shit. Um, I always work with a contract, and within that contract is like there's limited access as far as like how you get to leverage what you've invested in. So that got me thinking, like, years ago I had toyed around with offering infographics as a service because, again, I get into this on the previous episode, where there's a high premium for infographics. And like, regardless of AI, there's still a level of value that comes with the human touch, especially with me having a hand-drawn illustrative approach to it. And even more so with me entering a new level with my craft. So I was really pressed about prioritizing writing the short stories, right? It's like, you know what? I want to make my bread. So the Afro-Feminine Escapativities Handbook is like, I've always been an artist. And the entrepreneurial part of me started developing like with more clarity at the beginning of my 30s. And I enjoy this shit. I like money. I like making money. I like knowing all this stuff. And overlapping it with art wasn't like, there was just like, I guess, a subconscious resistance and like my own level of selfishness. And maybe, I can say like a bit of self-consciousness, where it's like, where I'm at 37, my skills aren't where I would like, compared to where I was thinking when I was like 10, 15 years ago, when I started considering this shit seriously. And it really gets into a level of respect in my relationship with art compared to like other artists, where it's, I have been influenced by video games and anime. And so I've found throughout my life, it's like people, like, I got my degree in Japanese. I started like studying Japanese when I was 10 from the middle school I was at. Got into it because of anime, video games and whatnot, right? And there's like this, it's a weeb. It's like an otaku. There's like this belief, like, people have stereotypes. People have this outlook on when people are interested in, or at least for me, when I was interested in anime and video games and Japanese culture. And I distinctly just remember this one chick I used to be friends with, and I had stayed with her and her girlfriend, and then like it was like, or fiance. And it was my first time meeting her fiance. And I guess it adds something to it because she's Asian, but I guess it was also like woman relationship dynamics or whatever the fuck. But the friend I had at the time like tells her that Malainayo, she's obsessed with Japan. And I'm just like, no, the fuck, I'm not. and then her girlfriend who's Asian, or her fiance who's Asian, start coming at me, I guess, in some defensive Asian ire about, I don't remember what this bitch was talking about, but it was just like, I'm sensitive to people's vibes. And she was just coming at me aggressive about it. And I'm just like, bitch number one that made up bullshit about me, and then your dumb bitch ass coming at me sideways over shit that ain't even fucking real. like it's like my interest in anime, and then that's like ultimately the thing, like the connection I had with this chick was because of anime, maybe video games, but very much anime, because she was an animator. And so her artwork was influenced by by Japanese animation. Like there's a distinct like skill level. It's not just like, ooh, the big eyes or whatever the bullshit that people used to go on about. It's like, no, there's a particular level of draftsmanship, even getting outside of Japan. Because like anime, I don't think things are really changing much. But like anime is typically outsourced to South Korea and China. And those countries have, I haven't kept up in the lore of things or the development of things. But those countries each respectively have like their own comics and their own animation. And there's a distinct level of technicality and draftsmanship and just devotion to cultivating those crafts that's I feel like that puts it into words, or just I guess it doesn't really put it fully into words, like the level of admiration that I feel about that. And because I was in a community of other artists, of Black artists who were influenced by Eastern animation and drawing styles and even the storytelling styles, it's, to me, it is of a higher caliber than what is offered in the West, in America, because there's often like outside of like Pixar films. But even that in itself, it's just this notion that animation and video games is distinctly for kids. And when outside of feature films, when you even consider television, it's not really the best animation. It's not really like, there's nobody really talking about the best animators in America, like amongst Americans, unless they end up working for like a Japanese or South Korean studio. So it's just it's a whole nother caliber. So there's nothing about writing that hits like that for me. And I've been writing my entire life. I've gotten accolades for being a great writer. It's not just smoke being blown on my ass, because it's not something that it's like I say it, I'm being hokey about it. It's because I know I'm a great writer. Maybe not all the, like I can also say, like, I haven't written short stories a lot. Like I've written a lot of nonfiction. I've written interviews, essays. So like I got a humanities degree. I've been writing essays since middle school. Like I was in gifted and talented English classes. So I know what the fuck I'm doing. I've been journaling since I was 6 or younger. So I've put in the time with the writing. But that's where there's this dichotomy when it comes to how people talk about art. And especially like when I've had certain interactions in the past where, I'm going through something, or I was like going through like going through emotions or whatever. And people be like, oh yeah, make art. And it's just like, nah, that's not what I use art for. That's not, it doesn't channel out that way for me. Art is like drawing, animation. Yeah, I put those on a pedestal. Those are just like, it's almost in, I can't even say it's almost like the same thing as like producing music, because I haven't even dabbled in that. Like I've been loosely learning to play electric guitar, and it just isn't the same. Like that's just a whole nother world in itself. If I entrench myself in it, then actually like develop the skills, sure. But it's just like AI cannot compare to what it's like to sit there pushing the pencil or the pen on paper and just going page after page after page after page, day after day after week after month, and seeing it emerge, seeing skills emerge. And if you slack off and then your skills decline, it's just like, there's nothing like that for writing for me. It's like I've been getting more cognizant of cultivating the skill of writing, especially. I can't say I've been doing that with the short stories. It's just like the short stories I was publishing, those go out. It's a draft. And I'm like, motherfucker, you reading this for free. So you can give me whatever critique or whatever, but like it's for the free. And I'm just riding with this. Like, I ain't written no short stories on regular, so if it's trash, it's trash. At least I had a good time doing it. But like getting the words out, and I guess it's just because I have the capacity for it or the capabilities, whatever. It's just getting the words out on the page. It just don't hit the same as drawing. So all that to say that as much as I was like having this inner war about how do I make my personal story art queen of my reality, now that I am embracing being an infographics illustrator, it's kind of like also a new lease on life, because even though I had like loosely looked into it before, I hadn't gotten a lot of practice with it. So it's just like, it's not even a novelty. It's literally just like the skill set. There's a lot of value to being able to produce illustrations. I mean, not illustration. I mean, there is that. But infographics, there's a lot of value. There's a lot of business value in that. It's, and then whatever else that I can help to sell it with the hand-drawn, illustrative aspect of it. I don't know. It's a game. And I know like people, they be complaining about like how life is a game now, like, but it's just like, that's the thing with games. You play to win. That's the appeal of like video games. It's not just, getting back on the subject of escapism. Like, it's, if you're intentional about it, it's literally, you're playing to win. You're leveling up to access the next thing. So why not bring that approach to life? Like, just because life is a game doesn't mean you're a loser, unless you believe that you're a loser and you can't win. Like, that's a part of the game, is your outlook on this shit. So I like playing the money game. I feel like I'm about to really hit it big with the money game, because like I got into I was curious about the infographics when I was in the cannabis industry, but because every other nigga crying fucking broke, and like the cash flow issues because of the legal status, it was just like, and I guess because my circle of connections was like, it was small businesses, so they didn't have the budget to invest in the level of in the competitive pricing of infographics, which is like starting around $1,000. That's like their whole fucking budget. This is for like one asset, so that wasn't gonna fly. It's like, yeah, I could work my way up, but it's like, when $1,000 isn't even like you're the greatest at it, that is just the price. There's but so low I'm willing to go to execute on that. And then it was also like being able to translate data into visuals, and then developing skills with Adobe Illustrator. At the end of the day, it's like I'm weighing, what is this worth? Because at that time, that was my only industry. And I hadn't investigated much beyond that because like I was pretty content. But just getting into fintech where it's finance and technology, the world runs on money and tech. There's no shortage of cash for this. And there ain't that many artists out like that. They ain't no artists. They ain't no top of the line ass artists that are renowned within this industry. And that's the game that I play is I go where they ain't nobody there. I find out where my positioning is and I'm the only one there because that's what happened with cannabis. I was the only Black woman writer from Baltimore, Maryland, and everybody wanted a blackie. So when I got in early in late 2018 into 2019, there wasn't. I mean, I feel like I can say with my full chest, they ain't real. Other than there's this chick Veronica Castillo, there ain't no other. Maybe I know she Puerto Rican. I think she might also be Black. But it's like, there ain't no other Black women who at the top of the game. And cannabis, like, that's something that, it's what has emerged over time, which I think is something that any artist, any creative has to be willing to grasp, is that to navigate this world, there are things within yourself that you have to tap into depending on how you want to play the game and how you want to win the game. And once I got a taste for winning, once I got a taste for being that bitch when I walk in the room and everybody hyped to see me and motherfuckers come to me for work, that's a wash. Like, I've been chasing that high ever since. So it's been very important to me because like I was writing blog posts. And I was like, I don't really value writing like that. Drawing is very precious to me. It is something, I guess it's the thing with like writing. It doesn't feel that difficult. It's never really felt that difficult for me. I can get by. Like the average person, average American has like a 6th grade reading level. I am a college graduate and I've been writing at a high level for most of my life. So that in itself kind of is just like, there's better writers, but I'm just like, that doesn't impress me. But like when it comes to there being better artists, that like I've had inner turmoil over that shit. And then that's turned into like, what is I have not remotely touched my potential when it comes to drawing. I've started chipping away at like what my peak is, or not chipping away. It's like I've licked it. I've licked my peak. So when it comes to the infographic illustration and then doing that in fintech where I'm completely out of my element, like I'm learning this shit as I go. It's something about like that challenge is so goddamn exciting that at the end of the day, I gotta have money. So I was feeling very conflicted about putting my creative stuff on the side. But all of this to say, like, because drawing is at the forefront of this shit, and I don't see no fucking obstacles. Cause like I've looked at infographics and I am not impressed. Like again, I'm familiar with the arts from video games, like entertainment arts. Like people really have to take the time to look at entertainment art and look at concept art and really, instead of just, because I think, just a lot of media, unless you're an artist or you have that appreciation, you don't really savor what exactly you're looking at and the amount of time and skill and thought that went behind everything that you're seeing. So to be able to do that with like information about finances and technology, bitch, clearly I'm hype over it. So me also relenting on originally I wanted to like and I guess at this point it's just like, you know what, fuck it. This is just gonna be the way of things. I am putting out Cosmic Africana on Juneteenth, 2027. And I want it to be an annual date where each time it comes around, like every month, I have a new short story. I'm developing the audience. And then we put out a physical version twice a year because I want to have like a special edition hardcover, but centering Black women, the Black diaspora. And then when we get to the Afro-Feminine Escapativities Handbook, I really just want to sell a digital product that includes my essays and using old art that I'm planning to use for the like I'm using previous illustrations for the cover and pulling from my library for each of the chapter covers. So I want to build on that. So I really want to put out that digital product, and then I decided, you know, of course, gotta have a physical version. So that will go out Black History Month. I just wanted a product that has staying power, and pretty much it is teaching Black women different aspects of escapism, which I will be covering more as I'm writing it and preparing for the publishing. Originally, I was going to say September. The date has been fluctuating. Just because I want to just focus. So I just want to focus on, you know, I get my day job, blah, blah, blah. Get my remote day job. Take care of my lifey life. But ultimately, like, making the universe works, the main money maker, that requires a lot of attention and focus. On top of the fact that, like, I want to go to networking events, I want to go to conferences that are all over the Western Hemisphere and beyond. Like, I want to actually build a presence and for this to be my career in fintech. Like, I'm feeling it. So there is a resolution in choosing to be an infographics illustrator where I can just fully identify as an artist. And like, I got tagged on there, yeah, I'm a marketing advisor. If you want to expand this visual into a campaign or merchandise, I have the framework with which to make that happen. But ultimately, my thing, I can't speak for all artists. My thing has been, I've had to navigate up until I developed the awareness that I have a choice. But I've been navigating having separate identities where, because the artist me is like, it's a big presence. But then, you know, learning that when I'm navigating through the world, I do want to say it's deliberate shrinking, where it's my presence be blasting motherfuckers. It rewires the room. Like, so I'm intentional about how I be showing up. And that's kind of like, that was the challenge of getting into fintech, is this, like, the appeal of the cannabis industry is like, quirkiness is anticipated. Whereas like Fintech, they're a little bit more, they're definitely more like serious. At least from what I've witnessed on for the months that I've been on LinkedIn, seeing the discourse and photos from events and whatnot. But I'm just like, you say, declaring I'm an artist is like a get out of jail free card. It was like, oh, this bitch is weird. Oh yeah, she's an artist. Duh. So, because it's like I just don't. It's been read as like a type of rebellion throughout my life. It's just like I'm just not interested in being like everybody else. It doesn't satisfy anything within me. I can like I said, I can shrink. I can play low key to feel out the scene, to feel out the people, and to put the chess pieces where I want them to be. But Malainayo is still gonna be Malainayo. I'm still showing the fuck up. And you either love it or you hate it. And if you hate it, motherfucker, you whack as all fuck anyway. So what I want to do with you? Your existence confounds me. Like, there's some demons in you if you bothered by me. That's my outlook. You got some unresolved shit that's gonna keep you here for at least 2 more lifetimes. It's my outlook. When you feel some type of way about me when I ain't done nothing to you. I haven't even spoken to you and you sideways about me because you don't like that I look like this, I talk like I do. Like, you sound like a fucking loser because why are you investigating me so goddamn hard? Like, bitch, you don't even know what the fuck you saying. That's just my outlook. So, all that to say, the service business has taken precedence. So that, ultimately it's having the financial security, but most importantly, on my terms, allows me to because I've tried to focus on creating, and it's just like a nagging in the back of my head about oh, I gotta pay for this. Oh, there's this, so I'm really on a mission to just wipe the leisure. I ain't worrying about no money. This is I figured it out. This is how it's going to be. And I figured it out without compromising my identity. Even like the day job shit. I'm looking at sales jobs because I got a business and life is all about selling and relationships. So fuck it. Let's get the chit chatting and making some money, everybody. So that's all I got. At the time of this recording, I decided to make the pivot. So there is much to shift on my respective social media platforms, and most importantly, the Laneverse Work website, how I'm positioning myself, and then making these samples. So definitely keep up with the journey. Keep with the journey. I'm mainly LinkedIn is my main ace buku where I'm at. And doing my networking. You can also catch me on Threads, Reddit. The YouTube shall soon emerge. But anything that I'm mentioning, anything that has been mentioned in this episode, direct links are available in the show notes. So as that goes, be sure to follow or subscribe to this podcast. Also take the next step of, if you're really feeling me, go to the Substack, the Art of Biz Chill Substack, and subscribe. Become a subscriber. And what else? Yeah, if you want to, as time goes on, whenever you're listening to this, learn more about my services, check out my portfolio, go to laneverseworks.com. If you're more so interested in the purely personal art business side of things and wanting to know more about the art and what I'm producing there, if that has your interest, you can go to the All Things Laneverse Substack And also go to lainaverse.com. Follow me on all the respective platforms. If you're really picking up what I'm putting down, it's really Jimmying your Janes. You can shoot me some dollars by going to the Buy Me a Coffee link. It says donate in the show notes. And yeah, if you want to network, you can book a call by going to my site. And if you're interested, you have some sensible questions to ask me, you can do so by going to the respective link. That'll take you to the contact form to share your sensible thoughts. And by all means, share this. If you're on Substack, feel free to comment. If you're on any other platforms where you see me posting, feel free to comment sensibly. Leave some likes. Share with your people. Subscribe, follow. Provide the support. Exchange value. And I will catch you on the next one. World class or bust. Malainayo out.